I call bullshit. The show's called Flying Witch, and it's about a witch who can barely hover, much less fly. Though I suppose that's partially kind of the point, and I'm just being angry for the sake of being angry. So I figured that after spending some time with the big shows this season, that I would be able to sit down and relax a bit with a more calming series. And this was it. I always like to have a more slice of life kind of show in my lineup of shows that I'm following every season, because my watching habits of the airing seasons, if I watch them at all, is to usually just pick one day each week and watch all of the new episodes. So to have a series like this is kind of a nice little breather in between all of the rest. Flying Witch is kind of like a spiritual sequel to Kiki's Delivery Service, but with a much more laid-back kind of storytelling. It follows a young witch named Makoto, who has moved away from her parents to a relative's country town in order to properly practice magic on her own. But the magic of this world is very subtle, and that's why I brought up Kiki, because none of the magic in this series is flashy. There are no sparkles or explosions of light. Most of it just happens, and if you're not paying attention, you might not even realize that the magic has even occurred. This puts it in a different category of magic series than others because of its much more, I guess you could say, realistic interpretation of magic. Makoto herself is, for all intents and purposes, a normal girl. She's a little clumsy at times, and she has a horrible sense of direction, but she has an intelligent black cat as a companion, and she can hover off the ground for a time with the use of a broom. Though the cat, Cheeto, can't talk, unlike Gigi from Kiki. Thankfully, however, he is still able to be a similar type of character, because Makoto herself can understand him. Chinatsu is also a character of joy to have along in the cast. She reminds me a lot of Nanako Dojima from Persona 4, as she has this same kind of innocent wonder about her, but also the tenacity and bravery to explore the unknown. Most of the magic so far in the series has been used as kind of like a showcase for her, showing her the wonders of the witching world. Seeing her reactions to all the various kinds of magic and situations that she gets put in makes you really want to cheer her on, to root for her in her adventures. I liked that a lot. If I had to find a negative, the only one that I can really pin on this series so far is the lack of any story development. Though really, that very well could just be the point. Like, we know that Makoto is here to try and develop her magical skills, but it actually takes quite a while for her to do so. Most of the time, the series prefers to just tell one-off stories about the world rather than, anything substantial. So, if you are looking for a story that's even remotely deep or highly developed, then this probably won't be your thing. It's very easygoing. It has things that it wants to show off, to show us, but it's not particularly worried about doing it now. All of the characters are, for the most part, happy. There is no conflict, no drama, and anything that even looks like it might be gets squashed quite quickly. For many people, this show will come off as boring and uninteresting, and I get that. But for what it is, it's a series that just works. The character designs are simple yet effective, and the soundtrack is excellent so far. Even with the pacing of each episode, the characters just fit well together. It's like a big family, which is fitting because the majority of characters are related, if a bit distant from one another. If this sort of thing strikes your fancy, then hey, here's another series that you can use to cool down and just chill out. Always good to have a few of those. So, now that we have reached the end bit, do I think you should watch this series? It's definitely not for everyone, and I would understand why many won't find it to their liking, but personally I've been enjoying it quite a bit, and will more than likely be watching it to completion myself by the end of the season. I haven't watched a show that's had this particular take on magic, which to me is quite a nice surprise. Sure, I wish there was more magic to be had, even if it was not the flashy variety, but I'll take what I can get. So what did you guys think? Let me know down in the Watchamajig, and for those of you who are further along in the series, then I am no spoilers, please. Thank you for joining me on this first reaction. If you like this sort of thing, hit the like button to let me know. And if you have a suggestion for what you think I should talk about next, let me know down in the comments, though chances are I will already be doing it. And until next time, ladies, gentlemen, and others, stay frosty.